there, my dear listeners. Today's little tale is one of betrayal and rebirth. Yes, indeed, a classic yarn of a so-called hero party kicking out their poor, underestimated comrade, only for our discarded fellow to evolve, awaken a wondrous new skill, and acquire the very powers of others. Delicious, isn't it? Now, let's begin the show. But wait a tick, where is dear Charlie? Ah, yes, that's right. She's rather occupied dealing with that mess. Best not to trouble her with this broadcast. But fret not, for I hear a replacement should be arriving any minute now.
The party leader, proud and jubilant, joyfully announced their promotion to S rank, urging everyone to raise their glasses in celebration. A group of adventurers sat around a table laden with food. They raised their tankards of ale in a toast, a joyous expression on each of their faces. The party... No, who? What? Why? Are you here? This isn't a second-rate slideshow channel with droning narration and bargain bin editing. This is my show, and my audience deserves flair, charm, and a bit of, what's the word? Ah, yes, pizzazz! The leader reveled in their recent success at the bar, with him proudly noting that they were now officially top tier after discovering rare treasures in a chest, while the party leader acknowledged their new status with satisfaction. But then the party leader said to hit the road, kicking him out of the party. Reacted with a sudden exclamation of bewilderment. With a weary sigh, resignedly accepted that he was being cut loose yet again. Reflecting on their experiences, muses over the countless parties they've drifted through.
Enough! I will not stand for this! My dear audience deserves sparkle, charm, and heavens help me, actual personality, not this! Get out! Before I turn this microphone into a thunderclap of regret! I do understand that our dear Charlie is gone. Tragic, truly. But I would sooner abandon this wretched channel altogether than rely on that bland, soulless contraption of an AI. It butchers names, it drains flavor, and worst of all, it is boring. Still, a replacement must be found, and I dare say I would take literally anyone over him.
Reflecting on their experiences, Eustus muses over the countless parties they've drifted through, each ending for the same frustrating reason. It's because of his skill, appraisal. The appraisal skill, which allows the user to gather information about items and materials they physically touch.
Well, what have we here? Another fresh little spark trying to light up this dreary place? How positively delightful!
Oh, hi there. You must be, the famous Alastor, right? The radio demon? Wow, your voice really does sound like an old-timey broadcast.
Guilty as charged, my dear. Though I must say, you flatter me. Not everyone appreciates a touch of vintage class in this modern cacophony of auto-tune and soulless chatter. But you've got pep. What's your name, sunshine?
I'm Courtney, just Courtney, and I'm so excited to be here. I mean, I don't know why I'm here exactly, but hey, new places, new faces, right?
Well then, Courtney, consider this your first big break. You are officially hired for now. Let's continue the show and demonstrate to our dear audience how it's really done.
Eustus, dejected, contemplated how his skill, while potentially invaluable for a merchant, was considered utterly worthless for an adventurer, being a mere support ability that offered no combat aid and thus earning it the sneering label of a trash skill from those who mocked him.
Truly, there's nothing adventurers despise more than someone who can't swing a sword or hurl fireballs.
By some cruel joke of fate, appraisal is the only skill he ever learned, leaving them to contemplate their circumstances. Eustus, feeling frustrated, reflected on his failures, admitting to himself that despite training in various disciplines like swords, spears, bows, and magic to compensate for his lack of skills, he never advanced beyond the beginner rank and found himself useless when situations became critical.
The tragic irony. A man who sees everything for what it is, yet can't change a thing about himself? Oh, how the world loves to mock those trapped by fate.
Eustus, feeling the harsh reality of his situation, resignedly lamented that even with his foresight, being kicked out still felt like a punch to the gut, admitting that as the deadweight holding everyone back, his expulsion had been inevitable. Eustus, standing in the doorway with a crutch and feeling frustrated yet determined, resolved to start over the next day and find another party, despite the challenges he faced. When Eustus entered the room, he stood wide-eyed and shocked as he discovered his room had been thoroughly ransacked.
Oh ho! And here I thought being tossed aside was insult enough, but no!
Fate decided to season his misery with scattered items everywhere. Isn't life wonderfully inventive?
Eustus, visibly taken aback and shielding his eyes, was stunned as he reacted with shock to the unexpected situation. Eustus angrily examines its contents. He declares that the items within are worthless, insisting that he, as the appraiser, knows there is nothing of value remaining. He scoffs at the idea that this is a parting gift, calling it garbage and expressing his disbelief that anyone would be fooled by its apparent worth. Eustus, looking curious and alert, reacted with surprise to something unexpected, his expression mirroring the confusion of the moment. Eustus is surprised to discover there are some items he never appraised. Eustus, frustrated with himself, admitted that even at his lowest point, his first instinct was still to appraise things. Feeling skeptical yet curious, assessed the unknown items scattered on the floor, musing that while appraisal didn't hurt, it was likely just more worthless junk. There's a shattered spearhead, a weathered sword hilt, a magic stone chip, a tattered banner scrap, and a weathered bow frame. All are described as having unknown details. Feeling both curious and annoyed, examined the items, noting their ancient appearance and expressing his frustration over the lack of detail as he muttered that they seemed so fragile they might turn to dust with a sneeze. Surprised and alert, turned towards the object, noticing a mysterious object near the door as he wondered aloud if there was one last thing. A large, dark orb labeled Crystal of Truth is being held. The orb is identified as a magic tool, but its details are described as appraisal impossible.
Appraisal impossible? Oh, now that's a fun twist. Even the all-knowing Eustus finds something beyond his reach. Nothing screams temptation louder than forbidden knowledge, my dear.
Eustus expressed his bitterness about being fired and his repeated failures. He comments on the irony of the situation, given the Crystal of Truth. Eustus, in a fit of rage, thrown the Crystal of Truth, breaking it to multiple pieces. Suddenly, darkness swept through the area, catching Eustus by surprise.
And thus, dear viewer, we learn an important lesson. Never throw mysterious artifacts in a fit of rage. The results are rarely restful.
Eustus, feeling pensive, found himself experiencing a life review as a montage of his past moments and memories unfolded before him.
Oh, how delightfully cliché! Life reviews, tragic flashbacks, the whole sob story. Yet I must admit, the drama is delectable.
Reflecting deeply, Eustus questioned his past ambitions, pondering why he had ever wanted to become an adventurer, and realized it was out of pure admiration for those he once saw. Eustus recounts a traumatic event from his past. When he was about 10 years old, monsters attacked his home village. When Eustus thought it was the end, a group of adventurers arrived, embodying the hope of heroes from a story. Eustus reflects on a recent experience, feeling as though his own personal narrative has finally started after a period of aimlessness and a lack of direction in life. He had previously felt like he was drifting without clear dreams or goals.
And instead he became the party baggage handler. Tragic downgrade, wouldn't you say?
Lost in reflection, Eustus pondered whether they were truly content with allowing their life to conclude in such a manner. Eustus clenched his fists, shouting "No!" With every ounce of defiance he had left, his face was filled with determination, refusing to give in. Then, the darkness faded away, and Eustus found himself standing in a breathtaking field of flowers. Eustus thinks to himself whether this is heaven. An unseen presence addresses him, calling him "my dear child," and denying that it is heaven. The unknown figure delivered a foreboding message about heaven's sterile soil, explaining that it was a place where living things were not born, while he listened intently with apprehension. Eustus standing before a person with long, flowing hair. Eustus looks somewhat distraught.
Oh, ho, ho! Enter the enigmatic mentor figure. Long hair, cryptic wisdom, and just a dash of smug mystery. How original!
Eustus wondered, who is this guy? But then, a thought came into his mind. Eustus, curious and wary, challenged the figure named Rowan by questioning whether the Crystal of Truth was truly his, to which he calmly claimed ownership of the significant object. Eustus nervously admitted that he had broken it, to which Rowan calmly reassured him that he indeed had. Rowan expresses regret, lamenting the damage done to what they describe as a truly artistic vintage piece made thousands of years ago. Eustus apologized profusely, looking distressed. But Rowan was only joking around. With that same mischievous grin, he claimed the activation method was to just break the crystal of truth, much to the absolute shock of poor Eustus.
Ah, yes, the classic bait and switch. Promise safety with one hand, snatch it away with the other. Nothing says trustworthy companion quite like mocking the very artifact that could expose your deepest secrets.
Visibly frustrated, he blurted out whether the trigger could have been activated with something as simple as a gentle tap instead of, smashing it to pieces.
Practical, sensible, but tragically unfunny. Rowan's apology almost spoils the fun. Almost.
Still, at least Rowan did say sorry, even if his little joke left Eustus rattled. Sometimes, humor just doesn't land the way you hope. Eustus suddenly questioned the location of the place they were currently at, admitting he wasn't entirely sure about their destination. Rowan, with a calm sort of clarity, declared that what Eustus was experiencing wasn't reality at all, it was all happening within their consciousness, their spiritual domain, or, in simpler terms, a dream. Rowan then revealed that the place they stood in was actually a sanctuary of his own making. He explained its purpose was simple but powerful: to meet the one destined to awaken the artifact's true power.
How quaint! A conjured sanctuary, a test of destiny, and a riddle wrapped in mystery. Personally, I prefer my truths without the dreamlike dressing, but I do enjoy the theatrics.
Curious and reflective, he couldn't help but ask why he was chosen. Rowan explained it beautifully, saying he was selected because of his strong refusal to accept limits and his unyielding will to change the present.
Oh, how inspiring! Nothing like blind defiance and stubbornness dressed up as destiny. Still, I suppose heroes are rarely made from those who accept things as they are.
Call it stubbornness or call it strength, but either way, Rowan saw something in Eustus that could change everything. He addressed Eustus directly, telling him to mark this moment. From this point forward, Rowan declared, Eustus would carry the potential to surpass every living being. Eustus, astonished and unsure, couldn't help but react to Rowan's unexpected confidence, questioning, how could he express such certainty? But Rowan, with the poise of a confident mentor, declared that Eustus's unique skill would force his potential to bloom, whether he believed it yet or not.
Ah, how charming! Growth through force! Nothing like destiny dragging you forward by the scruff of your neck!
Rowan then explained that before that power could truly awaken, the user had to embark on a journey of introspection to understand every strength, every flaw, and even the hidden corners within themselves. He reached out and gently touched Eustus's forehead. In that moment, he asked Eustus what he had witnessed in the darkness. Eustus told Rowan that he saw his entire life and everything he had done, but he questions if that was the only thing he saw. Eustus, overwhelmed, saw memories that even he did not remember. Rowan explained something truly incredible. He revealed that what Eustus was seeing weren't just random illusions. No, Rowan could see visions of his potential futures. To be more precise, memories of different versions of Eustus. A fragment of possibility, a self born from the choice he didn't make.
Multiple selves tugging at the edges of reality. Oh, what fun! Nothing like a multiverse of regrets to spice up a young man's destiny.
He admitted that now, he finally understood. What he understood was this: all those paths, all those branches, were the futures Eustus could have reached. Rowan warned Eustus that the backlash from some action would soon arrive. He then asked Eustus to give him his hand. Eustus, looking troubled, thinks about Rowan. He finds Rowan suspicious, noting that he gives off the vibes of a magician. Despite observing him, Eustus still feels uncertain about Rowan's true nature. Eustus made his decision. He held out his hand. He wishes for this moment to be real, hoping to finally become the adventurer they've always dreamed of being. Eustus, feeling both startled and overwhelmed, was astonished as he experienced a sudden surge of power welling up from deep within his chest. Rowan commented casually that obtaining the crystal might have been a coincidence. Eustus, however, dismissed it as just a coincidence, as if fate was never that simple. Rowan muses that while events might seem coincidental, they are often better described as fate. Rowan expresses a wish for a future filled with happiness for someone. The words "evolution complete," "appraisal to inheritance" appear below, marking a change. Guess that means if Eustus ever drops his toast in the morning, it'll probably evolve into a full breakfast.
Really, darling? Breakfast evolution? Must you ruin every dramatic moment with humor?
Hey, even heroes need a little giggle between life-changing revelations. And then Eustus woke up, shock and awe blazing in his eyes, as if the entire vision had imprinted itself deep into his soul. Eustus is sitting on the floor, looking confused. He wonders if he passed out. Eustus sits up looking distressed. He realizes that some broken pieces of crystal are missing. And then it hit him. What he had experienced wasn't a dream at all. It was real, and everything had changed. His upgraded skill inheritance allows the user to inherit the power and essence of a previous item owner by touching tools, weapons, or armor. Inheritable traits include experience, memories, and all the owner's skills.
Ah, yes, a handy little shortcut to becoming overpowered. Touch, absorb, conquer, and look ever so smug while doing it.
Driven by curiosity, reaches for the random junk scattered, ready to test its potential. Eustus chanted the skill inheritance. In that moment, he experienced the entire breathtaking life of Sword St. Julia's, surrounded by framing film strips of heroic scenes. Eustus, tears streaming down his face, reflects on the previous owner's combat prowess and following skills now residing within him. From the very first breath she took to her final one, whether in battle or in peace, the character reflected on experiencing every triumph, failure, joy, and sorrow. He discovered something about using inheritance, specifically that wielding its powers requires carrying the full weight of the inheritor's life. He realizes this is the catch.
Oh, what a marvelous little twist! Power is never free, darling. There's always a bill to pay, and I do adore a hefty one.
He expresses a need to use the bathroom and comments on how long he's been out, also mentioning his hunger. Eustus looks shocked and disbelieving, could not believe that he was out for a whole day.
Oh, what a nap! Most people wake up groggy after 8 hours, but a whole day? My, he must have racked up quite the sleep debt. Or perhaps he was simply avoiding reality.
Inheriting her power unlocked another piece of crucial information, revealing new insights. These tools belong to heroes who once traveled together with her. Solomon, Cran, and Julias. Rowan, a phantom demon. Freya, a saintess. And Artemisia, a heaven's eye. They are presented as the enigmatic sixth. Eustus now understands what Rowan meant by "we shall be watching and praying for your success."
Ah, how comforting! Nothing says good luck quite like the ominous knowledge that a pair of mystical eyes might be lurking over your shoulder at all times. How reassuringly creepy!
Eustus expresses a desire to see everything, even if it takes him a few days. 1 week has passed since he used inheritance. Eustus, who has just inherited the powers of 5 fallen heroes, traveling in a horse-drawn cart. He reflects on his journey, having cleared out his old belongings in Resta, and is heading to Regalia, a haven for adventurers, for a fresh start. Eustus, feeling the power of his newly acquired skills, reflects on his current situation. Regalia, a haven for adventurers, is a perfect place for him to start from.
Ah, Regalia! A bustling hub of opportunity, danger, and overpriced tavern food. Nothing screams new beginnings quite like being swindled by a bartender, eh?
Alistair, you act like every story has to follow the same old harem formula. You know, the overpowered hero, the quirky childhood friend, the mysterious elf girl, the tsundere swordswoman, and the healer who falls for him instantly.
Trust me, dear, you're still new to these tales, but I've seen enough of them to predict the pattern. Just watch! He'll stumble upon a group of pretty adventuresses about to be devoured by monsters.
See? That's exactly what I mean. You think every tale has to follow the same checklist. Then it begins to rain. Eustus realizes this is bad timing and needs to move. Eustus worries that traveling in the rain increases his chances of a monster ambush. Suddenly, something goes wrong with the horse and carriage. Eustus is startled and asks what's wrong. In the distance, a large group of figures can be seen through the rain in the forest. Oh no, don't tell me.
Yes, my dear, say it now. Embrace the inevitable truth.
Ugh. A fierce battle unfolds in the forest as travelers desperately defend against a group of goblins.
I told you so, my dear. I told you it would happen. And as always, I was perfectly right.
Oh yes, congratulations, Alastair. You were right again. Can we move on now? Eustus sat in the rain, observing a large group of goblins approaching. He estimated their number to be between 20 and 30. He felt that even if he had tried to get help, it would have been too late to save whoever was being attacked. Despite this grim assessment, Eustus reflected on his past self, believing that his former self would have been incapable of doing anything in this situation. However, now he is different now. Eustus is resolved to save them from the goblins. The echoes of the heroes within Eustus surged through him, their combined experiences and instincts igniting a powerful resolve to save those in peril.
Oh yes, a perfectly orchestrated moment of heroism, my dear. Nothing like a little recycled bravery to make one feel utterly competent, isn't it?
Eustus, with a focused and confident demeanor, summoned a magical bow, channeling his intense determination into manifesting its power. Eustus arrived with precise timing, maintaining a focused demeanor as they reacted with fright to the sudden attack, while the beast women, shocked by the unexpected event, wondered aloud what had just transpired. Eustus, cloaked and attentive, looked over his shoulder in the rain, concerned as he inquired about any injuries. Standing confidently in the rain, Eustus assured everyone that they should leave the rest to him and find safety, exuding a calm and controlled demeanor as he offered protection.
Ah, yes! Nothing says I've got this quite like standing in a downpour, hair-drenched while everyone else panics. Very cinematic, my dear.
Exactly, Alastor. Even in the storm, Eustus became a shield for his friends, showing them they could trust him. Eustus, determined to unveil hidden truths, focused intensely as he activated the powerful clairvoyant skill. Eustus, focused and strategic, assessed the enemy forces, noting 2 hidden mages in the trees and counting 10 goblins in plain view. Eustus, with a determined expression, commanded the magical ability known as the Sword's Blessing to unleash as beams of light erupted around him. Focused and agile, executed a rapid attack with determined intensity, his sword slashes cutting through multiple creatures with fierce precision.
Oh yes! Swift, lethal, and utterly satisfying. Nothing quite like watching a young hero carve a path through chaos while looking effortlessly impressive.
The elf, the beast women, and the mage, they reacted with shock and confusion as they struggled to comprehend the rapid vanishing of the goblins, with they expressing their astonishment at the speed and attempting to process the event. The mage, vigilant and concerned, warned of danger from behind.
Oh, my dear, and here it comes! Just as predicted, the ambush! Watch closely!
Eustus, determined and focused, resolutely unleashed the shimmering anti-magic chains called Dispel Chain, a powerful spell inherited from the sage Solomon to intercept and neutralize incoming spells. Once the mage goblins are bound, he cast a powerful spell with determined intensity, eliminating the goblins completely.
If Goblin Slayer were here, he'd give this a solid 10 out of 10 stars for goblin slaying excellence!
Eustus, feeling relieved, calmly assessed the aftermath as he concluded that everything was in order. Then, the beast women and the mage faced him with clenched fists, their embarrassment evident as they confronted him with determination. The beast women, amazed and curious, asked Eustus who he was, while the mage, impressed and enthusiastic, admired the mysterious man's amazing feat, leaving Eustus calm and receiving their praise with a smile. The elf, with an amused smile, urged the girls to focus, blending a playful encouragement with a light-hearted atmosphere. The elf, along with the beast women and the mage, bowed deeply, expressing their sincere gratitude for having their lives saved.
Oh, such theatrics! Bowing and gratitude, how quaint! But I suppose it does look nicer than the usual screaming and chaos, wouldn't you say?
Eustus assured them that there was no need to thank him, expressing his gladness for being able to help and his relief at not arriving too late.
Next time on Alaster Recaps. Yes, it seems our hapless hero's newly acquired skills don't just tingle his brain, they beefed up those biceps as well. How delightful! So, our strapping protagonist arrives in the illustrious city of Regalia, leaving his past woes behind like yesterday's leftovers, or so he thinks. But oh ho ho, the very next day when he registers what's this? Those old powers, along with their inconvenient baggage, return to him. Naturally, a new party is formed, shiny and eager, ready to tackle the world, or at least some questing contracts. Ah, but life is rarely so simple, my dears. Just as the ink dries on the party charter, a horrid goblin raid descends. 50,000 of the little fiends and the very same party that once cruelly cast him aside finds themselves cornered, trembling in terror. And here's the delicious twist. Right as doom draws near, bang! bam! Our hero leaps into the fray. Will he save the day? Will he crush the goblin horde beneath his newfound might? Will those erstwhile party members finally behold his true power without fleeing into denial? Ah, but my darling viewers, that's where I leave you hanging, for now. If this tale sparks even 20 likes, oh yes, I shall continue this delectable saga, and we shall see who survives, who triumphs, and who learns the bitter taste of humility.